Motorsport TV Live, brought to you by Motorsport Tickets, the dedicated motorsport experiences provider.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport TV Live with me, Bryn Lucas, bringing you all the latest stories from around the world of motorsport. Formula One goes down to the wire after a dramatic Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia. Max Verstappen summoned to the stewards after brake testing incidents, and NASCAR takes to the streets of Nashville. All that coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Formula One news first then, and within 16 laps of the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, there were 2 red flags following a series of crashes which took 4 drivers out of the race. Haas driver Mick Schumacher lost control of his car on lap 13, spinning into the barriers on the outside of the circuit. The crash triggered an immediate safety car, with Hamilton and his teammate Valtteri Bottas pitting from the front. Third-placed Max Verstappen stayed out after being delayed on his way into the pits by Bottas, and the gamble paid off moments later when F1 race director Michael Massey brought out a red flag, meaning Verstappen could pit for fresh tyres, giving him the advantage on the restart. Hamilton took the lead as they got back underway, only for Verstappen to retaliate in turn 1. The Brit had to take avoiding action, dropping to 3rd behind Esteban Ocon. However, chaos erupted again as Red Bull's Sergio Perez was spun around by Charles Leclerc, while the unsighted Nikita Mazepin smashed into the back of Williams' George Russell, once again bringing out the red flags and forcing another restart. Well, it didn't feel like this would be the end of the drama, and how true that would be. Verstappen was dropped to 3rd on the grid behind Ocon and Hamilton for the restart as a result of the turn 1 incident. However, he grabbed the lead from the off, setting up the battle for first place. Several safety cars followed, and by lap 37, Hamilton had a close run behind Verstappen, passing the Red Bull with DRS on the run to turn 1. But Verstappen again stayed on the inside and both went deep. The Red Bull then slid wide and cut turn 2, staying ahead as both went off the track. Verstappen was told to hand the place back, but in the confusion, Hamilton ran into the back of him, damaging his front wing. Well, a few moments later, Verstappen let Hamilton through, then immediately took back the lead. In the aftermath, Verstappen was handed a 5-second penalty and also told to hand the top spot back as the Dutchman's tyres began to give out, leaving Hamilton with a straight run to the finish. Well, here's how it all finished after that dramatic turn of events. Hamilton took the win, as you just heard, with Max Verstappen finishing 2nd, Valtteri Bottas coming home 3rd at the finish line, just overtaking Esteban Ocon. Daniel Ricciardo finishing 5th, Gasly 6th, Leclerc 7th, and Carlos Sainz in the 2nd Ferrari finishing 8th. Giovinazzi coming home 9th with Lando Norris in the 2nd McLaren in 10th. The rest of the field looked like this. Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin 11th, Latifi in the Williams 12th, Alonso 13th, Tsunoda 14th, and Kimi Raikkonen in 15th, all a lap down. And DNFs for Vettel, Russell, Perez, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And this is what it means to the championship standings for the drivers. Well, both Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton now equal on points, and it may go down to the countback. We'll have to wait and see. Valtteri Bottas, though, now 28 points ahead of Sergio Perez, has now ensured he will get that 3rd place finish in the championship. Well, importantly for Mercedes, with Perez recording a DNF, they now lead the constructors by 28 points over Red Bull with just 1 round to go next weekend in Abu Dhabi. However, there's another twist to the tale as Verstappen is being summoned to the stewards, who'll be looking at the moment where Hamilton ran into the rear of Verstappen's car to decide whether Verstappen was deliberately brake testing Hamilton. Some context for this thrilling final round for you. The only time the championship was tied going into the final race was back in 1974 when Emerson Fittipaldi won the title over Regazzoni. It's going to be a thriller. Well, don't go anywhere. We've lots more news from the world of motorsport coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Formula 2 news now, and the championship feature race at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was suspended following a frightening start line shunt involving Théo Pourchaire and Enzo Fittipaldi. The race lasted a matter of seconds as a stalled Pourchaire was collected by the unsighted Fittipaldi, triggering a huge crash on the start-finish straight. Oscar Piastri managed to convert his pole position into a lead before officials red-flagged the race to allow medical crews to attend to Fittipaldi and Pourchaire. In a statement, the FAA said the drivers were immediately attended to by emergency and medical crews. The drivers were conscious and extricated by the attending medical crews. Both have been transferred by ambulance and helicopter to King Fahd Armed Forces Hospital in Jeddah. Well, the delay caused by the red flags was a second to affect the race after an earlier support race crash had caused damage to the barriers. When it eventually got back underway, Oscar Piastri led the field on the rolling start down to turn 1 with teammate Robert Schwartzman in pursuit, while Ralph Boschung held third ahead of Guan Yu Zhou. Racing was short-lived as a crash involving F2 debutant Ollie Caldwell and Guilherme Samaye at the halfway mark initially drew the safety car, triggering leader Piastri, third place Boschung, Zhou in fourth and Yuri Vips into the pits. Moments later, race control red flagged the race, meaning Piastri was declared the winner on the countback rule, finishing ahead of teammate Schwartzman and Boschung in third. NASCAR news now, and the city of Nashville opened its arms to the series with its Champions Week celebration for the first time in 2019. With COVID-19, the 2020 awards became a made-for-TV event, but 2021 brought a return to in-person celebration in Music City. NASCAR honoured Cup Series champion Kyle Larson and recognised the host of title winners this week, capping off the festivities with Thursday night's NASCAR Awards Gala. It was another chance to reconnect both with the city and the industry as the off-season hits full swing. Well, the sound of live music filled the historic streets of Nashville each night, with drivers adding their own engine rumble into the mix, with Wednesday's Burnouts on Broadway a tire-smoking show on Nashville's Main Street. Hoots and hollers rang out from the city sidewalks and drivers put on a show for the revellers. Well, this year's champion Kyle Larson was just one of the drivers taking to the tarmac to lay down some rubber on the road and celebrate in style on the streets of Nashville. On Thursday, it was time for the serious business of the awards themselves, and Kyle Larson swapped his race suit for a more civilised get-up as he took to the stage to thank his team for a fantastic championship year. Just two of the people he paid tribute to from his team were Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon.
Thank you. Thanks, Mal. This is awesome. Rick Hendrick, I'm so grateful to have you in my life. I don't normally feel too much pressure, but I'll be honest. When I had heard that you had faith in me to bring back the number 5 with your son's paint scheme, I was extremely nervous but proud in the same moment. That first win we got in Las Vegas was one of our most special wins we were able to get this year. As a father myself, hearing your voice and having you tell me how much it meant to you and Linda brought on a lot of emotions. This year, you've taught me so much about respect and how to treat people. Thank you for that. Jeff Gordon, man, as a 5-year-old dressing up for my first day of kindergarten, head to toe in rainbow DuPont 24 gear with the matching backpack, I probably didn't think I'd be sharing the stage with you 25 years later as my boss. You are a role model to so many dirt kids from California like myself. You're still that same role model and one of the most humble people I've ever met. I'm so lucky to have you in my corner.
Kyle Larson there. Doesn't he brush up well, hey? Who'd have thought it? Well, that's all for now, and what a day it's been. I'm Bryn Lucas. Join us again here on Motorsport TV Live for all the latest news from the world of motorsport, but bye for now.